Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Finding Fashion. I'm your host, Pojo. Finally, an eco-fashion podcast that isn't clinically depressing. You'll love to see it, folks. I'm so excited for this wonderful, wonderful last episode of season 1. Don't get emo yet. We have a wonderful guest in the house. But before we get started, I need to let you know that this podcast is powered by Galaxy. It's a new way to source your favorite fashion finds. Whether you're into vintage, upcycled fashion, or just supporting small businesses and creatives, Galaxy is the place you can find your fashion. You can check it out on their site, shopgalaxy.com, for more. We also have someone with me today who also sells on Galaxy. So this is going to be a really fun, informative episode, and I can't wait for you to meet her. All right. Like I said, last episode of first season. It's been fun. Hold the tears because we got a lot of laughs in the mix today. We can't cry over spilled milk. Spilled oat milk. Mine spilled soy milk, believe it or not. My matcha today.
Oat and soy.
Yeah. What's your milk of choice? I know this is a pivot, but
probably oat milk.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I got on a soy milk matcha bender probably like 2 months ago, and I can't stop now. I'd also like to really quickly acknowledge that I am re-wearing a shirt that I wore the first episode because we're about the outfit repeating in here. And the person I'm sitting across from, let's just say, I could use some inspiration from your IG every once in a while because I pop onto Instagram, check your feed, and I'm like, okay, she did that. She did that. She keeps doing that. I don't know how you continue to do it, but you do it. You serve looks. You're showing up on the internet, doing what you do. For those that don't know who I'm sitting with today, I've got the founder of 412 Vintage in the house. She's amassed over 65,000 followers on her Depop shop, selling the goods, giving it to the people for reasonable prices, and it's like a personal stylist all on your feet. Are you kidding me? Like, come on now. I've got Allie xcx.
Hello.
In the house.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for being here on Finding Fashion. Let's start with like the obvious thing, the Charlie xcx honor in your handle. I can't not say thank you because, as you know, we had a brief conversation before the show started. I was a Marina girl. I fell in love with Charlie xcx when she was on that tour with her. And I just love this energy for you. It just, you bring it to the table. So thank you for that. How long have you been, you've been a Charlie fan for a while then, I'm guessing?
Yes, I love Charlie. And what drew me to her is just like, first of all, her personality and everything she stands for. She's very much like girl power and independent. And second of all, it was nice to like see somebody who like looks like me. So I kind of like identified with her on top of like loving the music.
Oh, yeah.
So it was definitely like a natural thing to go allie xcx.
And she's so talented. She just does all the things. I feel like you wear all the hats too in fashion. So this is gonna be such a great episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even wait. I guess I have to just dive in. All right. You're just like the epitome of finding fashion, by the way. You're all about upcycling, secondhand. The style side of it I think is so relevant, but we're gonna get into all that. I just want to start with getting like your fit check moment right now. Is that okay with you?
Fit check,
I mean,
yes.
You popped out for the show.
I did.
I'm beyond honored. Can you give us the drip right now and let us know where everything's from?
So first of all, my motto is dress to impress.
Yes.
Not that I specifically need to impress anyone. But,
I'm impressed.
You know, you just have to leave that impression on people,
Yes.
which is, I'm very big on that.
I love that.
Today I have, the whole outfit is thrifted, obviously. Yes. I have this adorable pink corset top with like these hot pink details. You can't see because of my like headphones, but I have a little pink headband on.
So cute.
We have a lot of pink accessories. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but it's very
it's very detail oriented, you guys.
Hello Kitty ring, you know, we got that in there. And then I went leather pants, which I'm like really stuffed in these right now.
Are you feeling it right now?
I'm really feeling it.
It's
Hard to sit. Leather jacket. I'm gonna mention this a little bit later, but love my leather jacket, obsessed with it right now. So that was on top. And then for shoes, I'm just wearing my favorite DCs. I'm obsessed with DC shoes right now.
A classic DC moment.
So
it's giving skater girl.
Thank you.
Skater girl, but like elevated skater girl. Also, I can't not acknowledge the 1999 tat. We've got a couple of 99 babies in the house, so we love to see that as well.
99 is where it's at.
Yes, it was the year that we all got brought into this crazy universe. All right, Allie, I need the origin story. Where are you from? What brings you here? Were you always wearing the thrifted goods? Like, were you always dripped down? I need to know this.
So first answer, short answer, no. I was not always dripped out.
That makes two of us.
But my family is from New York City. So I was born in New York City and moved to Florida when I was like 4 years old. So I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. It was kind of like a suburby area. But yeah, as a kid, I was just really like into art, and I was kind of like a nerd. I was super into like anime and Pokemon and stuff. And I remember I was obsessed with the internet. Obviously, I used to have like 6 different like blogs and just
Stop it. I was also a notorious blog spot maker. I would make a blog, forget the password, get a new blog. Wait, that was such a moment though.
Flashback. Unlocked a brain memory.
You really just unlocked a memory for me. Wait, yeah. Love that.
So that was like my thing. I had this cartoon character named Pie Lad when I was a kid, and it was like supposed to be like Captain Underpants, but I made him like a blog. It was like he was an influencer before influencers were.
Shut up. You were the culture shifter.
But anyways, I was just like a nerd when I was a kid, and I was not fashionable whatsoever. I don't know if I should go into it now, but starting my shop in thrifting was definitely what got me into like exploring and stuff, because I was always into like art and self-expression, but it was never through my clothes. And I think it also was a little bit that I wasn't too comfortable in my body, so that was something that I had to like figure out within myself too.
I love that you were influenced though by like anime culture and stuff. Do you feel like that like bleeds into your style
for
now?
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because that's a kawaii like, culture, Harajuku, like all those things, very like they all kind of meet somewhere in the middle. I feel like
it's especially like a lot of, I don't know, sometimes I feel like so pretentious for saying this, but it's like, of course, anime is like a big thing now. And of course, as you were saying, like the Harajuku trends and everything like that. And it's like, I literally wanted to like be that when I was like 10 years old, and y'all told me I was looking stupid. And
now look at it. Like, it's really out here.
But it's okay, because it feels good that like this is genuinely like who I am, you know? So
that's something I've always gotten from your platform, you know, like I just feel like it's an honest representation of who you are. Like you can go super tomboy, you can go super femme, and you just like, you have fun with it regardless. And I feel like you find pieces, like I love watching your thrift hauls because you find pieces and you get so excited and like kind of bring us down that rabbit hole with you. And that's just so cool. Were you thrifting growing up as well?
So my mom and my grandma, they would take me and my sister garage sailing every weekend.
We love a good garage sale.
Yeah, every weekend we would just wake up 8 a.m. Okay, we're going garage sailing. And it was never like, for me, it was never like I'm buying other people's stuff. Like it was just like, I'm going garage sailing, like, you know? But it's weird because, so obviously I was like, my mom would take me to the thrift store growing up and whatever. It's funny because my sister's actually the opposite of me. She's still, well, to this, I mean, now she's kind of different, and she'll go in the thrift store, and she sent me a picture of her with some like Harley shirts, but she literally would not like touch the thrift store. I'm like, what's wrong with you? But yeah, I was basically just raised like, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yes. My mom would always be like picking up people's, not like their trash on the curb, but if people would like throw away furniture and stuff like that, or pictures or anything, she would take it. So I feel like that's just kind of like in me, you know?
I love that. The resourcefulness, when you normalize that, it's so important. And I also have a sister that was kind of the opposite of me when I started getting into thrifting. And now, as you know, it's becoming so universal that I think people are everywhere are starting to see the value in it.
Exactly.
You know, no matter what you're into.
Which it's like, this is what I wanted, so I'm not even mad.
Well, and that stigma around like someone else owning something. Like I remember when I started thrifting when I was younger, I had such an idea that if I was buying someone else's clothes, like there were all this stuff attached to this garment when I'm like, babes, it goes through the wash and it goes through the wash. Like, I don't know what to tell you. There isn't anything deeper there, but there's something really cool about, I don't know, honoring that growing up too. I think that's really awesome. So when did the shop begin for you? Like, were you always selling online, or was it just like selling out of your closet and it kind of started to pivot, or how did things take off?
Another thing about my mom is she was always into thrifting, antiques and stuff, and she had an eBay store when I was growing up.
Oh, wow.
So she would flip antiques online, obviously. So that was also in my blood. So when I was like 14, I mean, even when I was younger, my mom would always be like, list this on eBay for me and I'll give you $10, $20, whatever. So when I was like 14, I was like a teenager, you know? I started, you remember those tattoo chokers?
How could I forget?
Yeah, I made like a little Etsy business selling those one summer.
Obsessed. What?
I sold them for like $2 each and I made like $1,000. So my 14-year-old self was like, oh my God. So after I had that experience, I kind of got more, I mean, I was always like selling little things here and there on the internet because I was like raised on the internet. But after I had that experience on Etsy, I started being like, oh, like Depop, what's this? This was in like 2015 when Depop like kind of came out, but I was like, oh, like a trendy selling app. Like, let me sell some of my things instead of like my mom's things. So I did have like just a shop where I sold like old things that I didn't wear anymore.
Yeah.
But I really got into thrifting when me and my old friend, we were on a family vacation to New York City. So this is when I lived in Florida. And we were just on vacation, like to see my family. And we were in Brandy Melville.
It'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that sometimes.
We were in the Brandy Melville, and it wasn't, I don't know the difference or if this still exists anymore, but it was like one of the ones where they had like vintage
that was the thing.
So we're going through the vintage clothes, and it's literally just a rack of like slip shirts, you know, like not even a slip dress, just the shirt.
Yeah.
And they were like $35 to $40. And me and my friend were sitting there looking at them like, bro, we could go to the thrift store, find cuter ones than this, and sell these.
Yeah.
So that's literally, we got home from the trip. We were like, let's brainstorm a name, like blah, blah, blah. We had already, me and my old friend, thrifting was like a little fun thing that we would do because like we had no friends. We were like, what do we do? I don't know. Let's go to the thrift store.
Right.
So we started, I guess we based our shop off of like the slip top kind of thing. So we just looked for like cute little dainty like 90s pieces. And that's kind of what we started off selling. And, you know, once things sold, it was like, well, we're back in the thrift to get more, you know? Right. And then from there, I guess it kind of just became like an addiction, but not an unhealthy one.
No,
you know?
but I mean, I feel like that's super resourceful. And I love, it's so entrepreneurial of you to like go in there and be like, we could do this way better. Let's go do it.
It also pissed me off because I don't know how vulgar I can get on here.
Oh, you can curse. This is a safe space to do whatever you want.
It pissed me off seeing Brandy Melville charge so much for these literally like thrifted slip tanks that I was like, people should be able to like wear cute things without having to like pay this much, you know? Like I just saw through it completely and was like, they literally just want your money. Like somebody could do this so much better.
Crazy markup, yeah. And you already know they probably got it at those like pound weight and like saying. Goodwill bins
the
and
lingerie tops are literally like $1 at the thrift store.
Yeah,
like
literally
it's crazy.
It's so crazy.
And honestly, sometimes it's crazier to me that people will buy those things and they have no idea that like you can just get it in the thrift. So I think that's also why I love like doing what I do and like showing people you don't have to spend that much money.
Exactly. And I love that you're doing that too, because I feel like there's this aspect of like bigger corporations and businesses that feel like if they put their stamp of approval of their brand name on something, then it validates it. And the weird part is that Brandy Melville probably affected how people looked at vintage in general or thrifting. You know, they probably got, I think that probably almost cracked some people's shell to realize that this world exists, a world that you are already amazing in and doing. So wait, also I need to dive into something.
Okay.
We need to explore your internet eras. You've alluded to it in the past. I need to understand. Tell me who you were on the internet before all of this, because I know you have some other identities, and I don't know if I could find them online, but I was like, I had this feeling you have like a Twitter era that existed, maybe even a Tumblr. Now that I'm getting the feel here, yeah. What's the tea?
So this is definitely a loaded question.
Okay,
because
take it in small bites, or you know, you don't have to give me everything at once. But I just like I know someone like you doesn't not exist on the internet.
Yeah, no, it's very real. I'm everywhere, you know. I'm everywhere. I had everything. Probably my oldest phase where I like remember things was I started, you know, doing social media on Twitter, and I was like a big YouTuber fan.
Oh yeah.
So I was obsessed with like I don't even know, like the British YouTubers.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
We can go down this rabbit hole all day long. Okay, I'm telling you, there's something in the 99 girlies that we were just affected by.
It was just that time.
It was a part of our lives.
You know?
So it was kind of like Stan account era. Okay, got you. Because that was
Stan
niche.
account era before today's Stan account era.
This is a whole other different Stan account era.
So I was definitely very rampant on Twitter.
Love.
From the ages of like 13 to 17.
Are you on Twitter now still?
So I was going to get to this now, but I might as well just put this out there. My new era that I'm in, Flame. This is my Flame era.
Ooh.
Well, that's my graffiti tag.
Wait, love.
You didn't hear that. But yeah, I keep my Twitter is probably my favorite social media because it's very, you can say things, you can talk to people, you can post pictures, you can do anything. But I do keep my Twitter like I'm not trying to be
like a Finsta almost.
Yeah, like it's not private, but I only really like follow my close friends and blah, blah. If someone finds me, like, it's whatever, but I don't want to be not held responsible, but I just want to be like a normal person. You know, I don't want people to look to me and be like, why aren't you being a role model right now? Like, I'm normal, just like everybody else.
You're like, I just want to like have fun on the internet.
Yeah.
And not
but
I love that though, because I mean, that's so funny you say that. Twitter was probably like not my favorite at all. Like, probably my least favorite. I was a person that was too sensitive for Twitter. I was like, this feed could ruin my life instantly. Like, I think I saw a couple bad videos on Twitter and I was like, it's over. It's over for this app. I deleted it off my phone because I was like, I'm too sensitive for this.
Twitter gets a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but that's so interesting. Were you into Tumblr at all? Or was that like...
I was. So I was going to say, from 13 to 17, I kind of had like a loner phase in my life. Not saying that I had no friends, but I didn't really have anybody really close to me that I could like confide in. So I kind of took those years to like find who I was at the time. So I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I just did a lot of things on my own, found out like what I really liked, like what inspired me. So during that time, I was on Tumblr a lot. I used to have, this was so weird. I was just like afraid of like what people thought of me. But when I was in like 8th grade or 9th grade, when everybody was making Tumblr, I had like a fandom Tumblr because all my friends were like kind of nerds and they like Doctor Who and stuff.
But that's like what Tumblr was. Like,
it was.
My Tumblr was like a fake mood board of things. And I wonder if fashion, did that influence any of your fashion stuff too, you think?
Well, I was going to say I had the one blog to be like with my kind of, not nerd in a bad way, but with my nerd friends.
Nerd out.
Like, and then I hid my other blog, which was like my fashion blog and whatever, because nobody at that time like kind of really knew that I was into that. But I was just kind of like building it without anybody like knowing.
Yeah, it was also like early blogger era, like fashion blogger. I don't think sometimes we forget how this is all so recent. Like people even like having a business for one, but also there were like Tumblr icons that were influencing how so many of us moved and did our hair and makeup and like that.
Go back to the real Acacia Brindley days.
I was really just thinking about that girl. Acacia, if you're watching, we hope you're doing well with your children. I know she like pivoted. That girl had people in a chokehold. But also goes back to the British YouTuber era. Like these are all things that really influence how we are now in a way. Yeah. Like I have a soft spot when I see someone like what was it, O2L boys? When I see them in the wild, I'm like, I hope you're okay, because that was a lot. And you were like 14. I don't know why that was existing.
One of the I was gonna say this, when I started my when I was really crazy on Twitter when I was like 13 or 14, I was like an O2L fan account.
Oh yeah,
but not O2L. It was like these other guys named SDK. I literally have no idea now.
What was up with all the like abbreviations?
I don't know.
I'm like, do you think anyone's gonna figure this out if you don't have it written out?
Let's get the boy groups back on YouTube though, because I'm kind of down for like a collab channel.
Oh, truly, truly. And pivoting away from this like TikTok era of like let's dance together. It's like no, like do a prank. Yeah. Do a challenge.
Eat some weird food.
Like, let's keep it wholesome.
That's wild.
Do you have any like fashion inspirations right now that you've been obsessing over, or maybe even just like eras that you're into?
So this is always like such a hard question for me because I always have two answers. Just two people that I always love, and that would be Charlie XCX and Jesse Rutherford, who's the lead singer of The Neighborhood.
Yes.
Another thing, back in my old era, obsessed with The Neighborhood.
Girl, we had the same obsessions. What is up with that?
That's what I'm saying. We were
definitely at the same concerts and did not know.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But Jesse Rutherford, he's just great. I love his style. It's very 90s. He, wears the leather jackets. Yeah. It's very chill and casual. If I was a boy, I would dress exactly like that. And then Charlie adds like that bit of feminine, and she's very like dark and mysterious. Her new era now is very, obviously she's out in the world and kind of mainstream now. So she's kind of channeled a lot of her style down. So I definitely get inspiration from like old, like 2013, 2014 Charlie.
100%.
But another big source of inspiration for me is, first of all, just living in New York City.
Oh yeah.
And seeing all the people that walk around, and even just like my friends. Like I feel like my friends are the people that inspire me the most, and it's kind of annoying because it's like I don't want to copy my friends, but they just look so cool.
But also, like, I feel like everyone's a manifestation of each other when you're in like groups like that. You know, it's so easy to be like, where did you get that? Like, okay, keeping that in mind next time. But I'm the same as you. It's like it's easy to pull things from different people and just have those like minor, like you wearing the leather jacket, and maybe that was a Jesse moment for you.
That's
but
what
also,
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Because could you describe your style in a few words, or do you feel like it's everything and all things, but
this
nothing
is like so hard for me because my favorite style, I would say, is grunge. I love grunge. Like, I just love like the effortlessness and just like chilling and whatever. So I feel like there's always an element of grunge in my style, but I definitely get more glam and I like colors and I just like crazy pieces. But I would say my style, if I had to describe it as something, it would be 90s.
Yeah.
Just because I absolutely hate skinny jeans. That's a 2010s thing. I'm not doing it.
Not about it.
But yeah, I don't know. What would you think?
I look at you and I think 90s kawaii grunge baddie.
Okay, that's perfect. That's kind of exactly what I'm going for. So
because it's like, I mean, I feel like every element is just like it feeds into each other, but it's not like, I think this, like I said before, what I like about your style, it's like I don't feel like I'm looking at like a carbon copy of a movement or a carbon copy of a Depop shop or a carbon, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you do, it just shows that you have so many other things that have influenced you. I think that's fucking awesome. So
thank you. That was actually a very sweet compliment.
Oh, no, of course. Let's see. I want to ask you more. Ooh, do you have like a certain piece that you catch yourself grabbing like more than once a week in your closet?
Okay.
What's your go-to?
I actually did not bring these today, but perhaps I can send you a picture.
Oh, yes.
But I thrifted these huge, I have a thing for like huge pants. Like I was just going to say, I hate skinny jeans, but I love big, huge waist men's pants. I don't know why I have a problem.
I love it.
Like dark blue denim, but they have, like they're not cargo pants, but they have like a ton of pockets. It's like perfect skater pants, and they have like light denim contrast. Ooh. And they're Rockaware, and they were like super long on me, so I cut them. Yeah, I cut them at the bottom, and they just like fit me perfectly. And I also love that they're just like big, comfy, and have huge pockets. And I just honestly, so you said this at the beginning of the episode. You said I'm down with outfit repeating. My thing is that I don't know why, but I absolutely hate outfit repeating.
Really?
Yes.
I've been trying to train myself to do it more because I fixate on outfits and I'm like, this did not get seen enough. Someone else needs to see me in this.
Well, my thing is like, you can obviously like, you're not gonna like I'm gonna wear this again,
of course,
you know, but I'm not gonna wear it with all these same things.
That, though.
Like I just want to.
You like to diversify style wise, yeah.
So I feel like, you know, that's good. I don't remember why I started talking about this.
No, but like I get what you're saying because I mean, look, I styled it a little differently today, but a bold shirt like this to me feels like an outfit repeat because that's the other thing about statement pieces. Like the idea of you dressing this in a different way makes the statement, it's like a variation of the statement, which is good because I think most people would buy a piece like that. Like let's say it's a fast fashion piece and they buy their hot pink dress and it's that fake silky material gets a pull and you're like, it's over for this dress, good night. And I'm like, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? I think it's fair that you want to do that. But I don't think you're anti outfit repeating in that sense because some people look at outfit repeating as wearing the same top more than like however many times in like the span of a month or something, and I'm like, who gives a shit? Who cares?
My thing is I say this all the time, so I feel like I need to release it on this podcast.
Please.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, London Tipton, our freaking idol. She said, in her wise words, she said, wear it a day, throw it away. And to that I say, wear it a day, sell it on Galaxy or Depop.
Period.
That has been my motto for
snaps
a while.
But also feels like you're modeling pieces that you then are flipping.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I mean, that's necessary. Like, that's literally like what it is.
Yeah.
But
that's the responsible, you are the responsible London Tipton.
Oh my God, slay.
Put that one. That's a quote for some website.
I'm going to be the first ethical London Tipton.
I'm obsessed with that rebrand. It's a rebrand, everybody. We need one of those. Remember that episode they did, the merging episode, where it was like, that's so Sweet Life of Zach and Cody? Period.
The multiverse of madness.
Obsessed with that. That was so good. Yeah, if you could live in an era, so you think 90s would be the era? Or Y2K? Or
yes, but also I have this thought. So I'm super into like grunge music, and I also love like, I guess you would call it like post grunge, which is like stupid bands like Nickelback and Korn and Seether.
We are obsessed.
I love this band Seether. But anyways, I always think to myself, like, I would love to be the age that I am now, like, you know, 20, 21, 22, in like 2003 or 2004, so I could just be in like a Korn concert, like looking emo as hell, like with the arm sleeves on, like, you know, I feel like I would slay.
You would slay 100%.
But besides that, I would definitely I would pick the 90s for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like a, listen, we're lucky we made the tail end of the 90s. People are like, you're a 90s baby. I'm like, I got 6 months on it.
Technically, yes.
Best 6 months of my life. No, I'm kidding. People are like, don't act like you remember a thing. I'm like, come on now. Well, I have to ask you about 412, right? So tell me about the shop. When did this begin? And what is 412 for those that don't know?
So the first thing is it's 412. I'm sorry.
412?
Yeah. But it's okay. Everybody,
I'm canceled. No,
every single person says it.
Wait, so this is good because my interpretation of it was it's a area code.
Yeah.
Is it an area code?
No.
Okay.
A lot. Don't worry.
That was my question because I was on my Zelia Banks grind. Like I was in the 412 and I'm like,
oh my God.
Maybe. Okay, this is great. So debunk this for me. What is it?
So you say it as 412.
Okay,
and
412.
The way that like this is really just like an inside joke that was not even mine.
Okay.
So I mentioned that I was obsessed with the neighborhood.
Yes.
And so they have like these friend bands, I guess, kind of like sibling bands called Bad Sons and Honey. Oh. So they're like all kind of like in the same scene.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they went on tour together in 2015. That was like one of the best tours I've been to. It was called
That
The
might have
Flood.
been the tour I was on.
Shout out to the real ones who went to the Flood tour.
Yeah, for real.
But anyways, so this band Bad Sons and Honey, like, bro, I'm telling you, like, me and my ex-friend were such big fans. Like, we would stalk every single member's like stuff.
Wow.
But they had this joke about 412, like literally just the number 412, and like they would always just post weird 412 shit, and we just thought it was funny. And when we were naming our shop, we were just trying to, you know, think of like cute names, and everything was just like not basic, but it was just like, this isn't it. But whenever we came across 412, we're like 412 vintage. It was like, oh my God, that has a ring to it.
It does have a.
So
now that you're saying it like that, I mean, obviously I like fixated on the idea of it being an area code, but 412, it feels like, what time is it? 412.
Yeah.
There's something about that number. It just
it's
feels
special.
good. It's
well,
nice to say.
It's my little angel number because, you know, everybody looks at the clock and they're like 11:11. But when I see 412, I'm like, oh, it's for me.
You're like,
and
yes.
I have a holiday too.
Really?
So. Well, I just made it up.
Happy
April 12th.
412. Yeah. Do you do sales or something?
I didn't this year, but yeah, I usually do.
I love that.
So.
Oh my God. That's iconic. That's so amazing.
We love marketing.
Yeah. Wait, no, truly, honestly. We have to talk about the shop's growth though, because it took off. Like you're a top seller on Depop. How was that process for you? Did you expect that growth, or like, I'm sure that's a lot to handle at once, and was it gradual? I need to know all the details.
It was pretty gradual, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're looking to grow on Depop, something that you need to keep in mind is like consistency. And you know, I would post a lot and it was very frequent, so I think that's also just like helped the growth. But no, I really never expected it, so it was cool.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you found so many people that have similar style to you that probably helped grow your personal platform as well, because people really look to you as like a style icon in that sense.
Yeah.
Were there any like random hurdles that you didn't expect when running a shop solo? Because I can imagine there's everything from financially keeping an eye on things to making sure you're in stock to answering, I mean, messages, right? Because Depop's almost like a social platform. Yeah. What's it like doing that?
I was just gonna say the only like shitty thing about doing it completely by myself is that I don't have that consistency that I was always have, because when there was two of us, there's twice as much posting.
Right.
But I feel like it is very much easier to just navigate everything by myself, because I'm also like kind of like, well, first of all, I'm a Virgo, so I love control.
You love to control, girl.
So, you know, I'm not mad at the way it is now.
Yeah.
But it is, a lot of people have to remember that you might see like a small business online and think, oh, like cool, like I'm gonna get my product or whatever, but it really is just like one person behind everything.
Right. So. No, 100%. And small,
a lot.
like supporting a small business is so much bigger than, oh, I got a great deal on a shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're literally financially supporting someone's movement. And I mean, what you're doing is just so important, because I think there's this other side of Depop right now, which is exploiting the fact that people are looking for secondhand.
Yeah.
And people are down for the cause, or even just like boosting like the prices of things simply because, like, for a markup that doesn't make any sense, right? Going back to what you're talking about with the brandy marked up shirts too, you do it in such a reasonable way, which I think is amazing. But I want to ask too, like, I'm so curious, starting a shop, right? That's a lot for anyone to think about. Were there any things you did that are things you feel like you did the right way that you would say to others to definitely follow suit with? Because I'm sure it's all about setting the foundation.
This is a difficult question because I feel like everybody's experience is going to be different. But I feel like the most important thing is just having not even necessarily like quality as in like designer products or whatever, but taking those pictures and making everything look modeled and nice. And I feel like that was one of the things that I did. I mean, I also, not to sound like a narcissist, but sometimes I have that little photographer trait in me.
You love that.
So yeah,
though.
I like to take pictures and style photos and stuff like that. And I feel like on Depop, it's so much more about the image and how something looks. Like, for example, if someone had this ring and it was just a picture of this ring, you would be like, oh, it's a cute ring. But if it was like a ring on a hand with a girl with pretty nails, you'd be like,
different vibe.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of like that. That's my biggest tip, is to kind of
it's like personal marketing.
Yeah.
And marketing it with your style.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that push to like your personal style affected how people gravitated towards it? Because if you're styling it and putting it into these looks, I mean, I can only imagine people are like, wait, I kind of want that top too. Or maybe I want that hat. Maybe I can buy that. Can I buy that hat? Do you get DMs like that? People are like, yo, I saw this dress on your Instagram. Can I buy that?
Yeah, for sure. Or people who like, there's like a Depop picture and they're like, it's a shirt and I'm like wearing a skirt with it, and they're like, are you selling the skirt? No, but thanks.
You're like, sorry, not
maybe
yet.
One day.
Maybe one day on my Tipton shit. Maybe I will. So you like Salvation Army for sourcing. Like, is that your only place you like to source, or what's your thing? Do you just like pop in and out, see what you find places?
Honestly, like the thrifting in New York City is just terrible to me.
I hate it so
Florida,
much.
Right? Yes,
I mean,
I'm spoiled.
I feel like you're one of the drippiest people in Florida. So you find the cool stuff, and then you're like, this is all mine. Thank you.
Yes, I literally when I go to Florida. I mean, I probably go twice or 3 times a year because I'm really close to my family. But whenever I go now, I just literally spend like $200-$300 in the thrift, and I have like a new wardrobe for the next like 6 months, including so like things that I can put on Depop. So it's cool. That's what I've been doing for like, the past 6 months, I would say, is just thrifting every once in a while, but I always have stuff. But yeah, the Florida thrifts, it's just like you can walk in anywhere and find something.
What is it like there?
It's amazing. There's this place that's literally like a 5-minute drive away from my house, and it's just so cute. There's always cute little finds in there, and I just love it. And then there's a Goodwill down the street. Go down the street a little more, there's a bigger Goodwill.
Stop.
Then you go into the city, there's this huge thrift store called the Thrift Store. There's multiple Salvation Armies. It's like, it's great. The city that I'm from in Florida, Jacksonville, is definitely not the worst city to be from.
Thrifting in. Go off.
Shout out to Jacksonville, because place is not half bad.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna have to pop out Jacksonville real quick.
No, don't do that. It's not worth that. But
no, but like honestly, if you think about it, thrifting in New York, the price, like the markups, probably the amount that I'm marked up on my stuff, I could probably fly to Jacksonville and thrift and come back.
The thing is that not only do they mark stuff up in New York, but the quality of the stuff is so much less.
Yeah,
like they'll charge you $8 for something that like has a stain on it, when it's like in Florida, I could literally get that for $2 and nobody cares. And also in Florida, it's always hot, so they don't overcharge for jackets.
We love that.
So I always get my this jacket I got from Florida.
Stop.
Brought it all the way back. I'm always bringing jackets back when I fly back to New York.
Oh, I'm pulling up with an empty suitcase to Jacksonville.
That's what I do.
Do you have any pieces that you've sold in the shop that you're like, I regret doing that. I'll never do it again if I see something like it. Please give me the tea on that.
I have so many.
Oh, no.
I actually made a TikTok recently of all the things that I wish I didn't sell, and it was low-key like 30
Were you just like in your bag the whole time making that? Like, I would have been so emo. Like,
yes. I was like, well, sometimes I just like go through my old thrift hauls or something, and I like, I'm holding something up, I'm like, where did that go? Like, what the hell? I never even wore that. But 2 things that I'll mention that I really wish I didn't sell. The first thing is, when I first started my Depop, my friend and I thrifted this black leather Playboy skirt with like pink lining and a pink Playboy, and we sold it for $15.
No.
$15. Like, I want to punch myself right now.
That's actually making me sad.
Right? I wish I had that back, but I know exactly who I sold it to, which is, I'm still friends with the person.
Hey, bestie, so remember that skirt? You still have it?
I never saw her wear it, so that was the only like annoying
thing. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
super annoying.
The next thing I wish I didn't sell, sorry, this is a little, not that graphic, but you know when you're on vacation and you go like souvenir shopping or whatever, and they have like a bunch of shirts that you can just like pick or whatever, and like they like super put it chaotic on the shirt.
Yeah.
There was one, I can't explain it besides Hello Titty. So it was like
Stop.
It was like boobs and then like the Hello Kitty ears and like eyes or whatever and the bow. And it just said Hello Titty.
There's something wholesome about it.
Right? And I got it made when I was on vacation. And I have no idea why I sold that shit. I must have needed money or something, but I miss it.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes when we're in our need a bag era,
it's
we
like,
start selling
come
things.
on.
No, it's happened to me. I mean, I've had moments where I go on my real sales, like my old sales. And it's like, because I used to collect some super expensive for no type reason items.
Yeah.
And then the problem with the real, let me get on a, let me talk my shit. You can bring really nice things that you paid. Let's say it was a dress you paid $300. That's a lot to pay, by the way. But in New York, that's the culture we're in. I buy a really nice dress, or even I would get trade a lot for shows I walked when I was younger during Fashion Week, and I would be so excited because I'd be getting like $1,000 worth of clothes for nothing because technically I worked for it, but whatever. But I remember bringing some of that stuff to the Real, and then I went back in my sales, and I'm like, I wonder how much I made on that. Oh, $20. How could you do this to me? Like, for that much, I would have kept it, figured out a way to like style it differently.
They resell them too, right?
They resell them, and I'm like, that really was a low blow.
God, it's giving GameStop.
Oh, you want to hear the most depressing purchase of my life? You're gonna hate this.
Yes, please.
You're gonna hate this. No, you might like never look at me the same again.
Okay.
All right, this is a dark moment, you guys. Story time.
I'm excited.
So when I was doing Fashion Week, there's this meme between my friends and I. If you didn't cry during Fashion Week, did you do Fashion Week? So I was in my bag and I was like, I'm gonna be in my spending money to make myself feel better bag. And I made a good amount of money that Fashion Week. I was like, okay, I don't know what planet I was on. I was 16, so let's bear this in mind. I bought a $500 sweatshirt from GCDS. Now this was one of my dumbest, largest purchases of my life. So keep that in mind. I don't shop like that. Oh, I got humbled real quick. 2 years later, I'm like, why did I buy this sweatshirt? Let me bring it to the Real. Guess how much they sold it for?
Just tell me.
$40. I made $20 off of that sweatshirt.
That's really sad.
I'm sorry, there's no planet where I got $480 worth of wear out of that sweatshirt. I also hated the sweatshirt. Like, I remember buying it being like, this isn't even a nice, like, that's how you know I was in my depression phase. Like, it was just not vibes. But
well, at least you were 16 and you live and you learn.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And now I do the same as you. I spend $400 and I get so many amazing things. Recently thrifted Manolo Blahnik perfect heels. $90, but when I say perfect, I mean we're talking about like $1,000 heels. That's you guys crazy. Like I'm in my thrift bag now. Like I'm not. There's no going back.
Thrifting is also just so fun. Like
so
I'm sorry
fun.
to go on a tangent here, but
Let's
it's
go.
like it's a game. Well, to me, sometimes I feel like I have issues because the second I walk into the thrift store, it's like I don't have to look through every rack, but certain racks call my name, and if I don't go through the kids section, I can't leave the thrift store.
See, let's talk about it. Baby tees. Are you a baby tee girly?
Listen, I'm a girl with a big chest. Okay,
there we go.
And I like the baby tee movement. I think the people who are like, you're taking it away from the kids and
taking it away. This kid does not want this Von Dutch shirt.
Well, I just think that
I just feel like it's like, what?
That whole argument of thrifting and stuff is like, you're taking away from the people who really need it. Is like, I don't really think that, struggling people are going to need a plaid mini skirt.
No, that's the argument we have on the show a lot, which is it's important because it's really not about being ignorant around like when it comes to people's situations financially. It's about people do not, outside of all that, right? Like forget that noise. People don't realize how much textile waste we are dealing with in the US alone. Like it's not like there aren't more shirts to fill it. No, I mean like there's bags and bags of clothing being brought to Goodwills, Salvation Armies. You think there aren't enough t-shirts for kids or even skirts for anyone, really? Like the plaid mini skirt's not going, it's lost in the sauce, truly. So we're all on the same page here. And I just think it's about education. That was one of our conversations earlier in the season, is like education around what it really means to be a part of a circular economy. And you doing what you do and making a business out of it is helping push people towards even just awareness around how toxic it is to even be buying
for sure
from like here's the question: should you buy secondhand or should you buy from Shein or Zara or something like that?
I'm picking secondhand every time. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I actually don't shop for clothes besides thrifting?
I'm like getting there too. I'm like very small business focused with that. But I think it's interesting because we're talking about a situation where people want to have an ethical dilemma around you buying secondhand, when the real ethical dilemma is that we're exploiting people across seas for labor that allows us to pay prices that we do in the US in our first world country. It just doesn't add up to me. So think next time you come for 412. Think about it. Don't come for 412 ever, period. Okay. I want to say, like, I have to ask if you could give our listeners any advice on one thing they should think about before they buy clothes next time, what would it be? That's a heavy one too. I keep hitting you with the heavy.
Yeah, not me just like sighing.
No,
right
think about it. I mean, listen, we went down to like a kind of a dark hole, but
I don't think this has to relate as much with like sustainability. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I would just say, like, experiment with things that you want to experiment with. Wear what you want to wear. Like, try on that shirt that you think might not look good on you, and like see, like fashion is all about experimentation and expression. So just go for what you want to go for. You shouldn't have to ask for anybody's approval except for yourself.
Yes, 100%. I love that. And I think that's something that we're seeing too with, like, I loved your answer about, like, it's hard to pinpoint people that you look up to in fashion, because you are making, your own style landscape. You are deciding what you want to wear and who you want to be, like, through every decision you make. I want to ask you another larger, all-encompassing question.
Okay.
What does sustainable fashion mean to you?
Sustainable fashion to me, I don't know. I feel like it's such a big
There's
umbrella.
no right answer and no wrong answer. That's why I ask.
It's such a big topic that I feel like there's no right answer to say, this is what's going to fix the planet. This is what we need to do in the fashion industry. So it's really just up to each individual person to make the changes that they can.
Yes.
And in my world, I'm worried about myself, and as for fashion, I live very sustainably. I don't really shop places, like fast fashion or anything like that. I thrift my clothes. I sell my clothes. It's a big cycle for me. So sustainable fashion could be buying from, what would you call it? Those
small businesses
or something like that.
Local,
anything like that. Like
Depop shops, Galaxy Lives, like all the things.
Yeah.
No, but I agree, because I it's interesting seeing you get like kind of caught up, because I feel like I look at what you do and I think immediately, like, that's sustainable fashion, right? Like, that's sourcing, that's giving back to these thrift shops that need to stay in business, but also to you supporting someone that's like trying to spread secondhand. But then also it does go back to this idea that there's no like black and white answer to what sustainability really is. And I agree with you. It's for some people it's just mindfulness. It's just making that decision.
As long as everybody, obviously this isn't good enough because, there's climate change and everything going on. But if everybody did do some sort of part, whatever that may be, towards becoming more sustainable, then it would be better for everybody. So I just think, do your part, whatever you can do.
100%.
That's
whatever
the best
strikes
we can
you
ask
fancy, or even just any opportunity. Yeah, like any opportunity that you see to just make a better decision.
Exactly.
I have these moments all the time. Listen, when I get takeout and I see those dirty plastic containers, and I'm like, you either rinse it or you don't.
Yeah,
rinse it. And I get myself into the kitchen and I walk really slow, and I'm like, I'm so tired, I want to just sleep.
So annoying.
Girl, rinse it out and recycle it. Come on, like things like that where I catch myself in my own tracks. I mean, it goes back to the idea of like someone like you who people look at and be like, eco fashion baddie. We're just humans. We're just humans trying. Like, it's just about caring. And
exactly.
Yeah. And you started in the right place at the right time. And
that was another thing I was going to mention about Depop growth. Before I forget, is when I started my shop, it was kind of before Depop was very oversaturated.
Right.
So
yeah,
I feel
tell me
like
about that.
That was just very helpful to me to like already have had established just a shop, Not saying it's impossible to start a shop now from scratch and like, be somebody or have a big following or whatever, but it's definitely different on Depop now. And like 100%. You were saying, like people taking advantage of people and drop shipping, and it's like this whole thing.
100%.
So
yeah, you're the OG. You're the OG online.
I mean, sometimes I think of it like that because like I said, I don't want to be narcissistic or anything, but you know, back in the day I was making my thrifting videos and whatever and blah blah. I was just in high school doing whatever, and now everybody thrifts like it's second nature. I'm just like, okay,
here we go. Yeah, get on the boat. Come on.
But I think it's I actually just realized this when I was telling you about my sister. Like, it's literally just like my sister. Like, she used to be so grossed out at me thrifting, and now she thrifts because it's like a trend.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
So it's good.
I have an early memory thrifting with my mom at one of her favorite places. And I remember I was in there looking around and I was so excited. I was finding such cool stuff. And I remember a boy that I went to school with walked by and saw me in the window and was like knocking on the window, like looking at me. And this was like a local shop that's like very,
was it giving bullying?
It was giving bullying, but I also, I don't think people understand. You don't bully Pojo. You don't. I'll bully you right back. I'll make you feel stupid. Period. This man looked at me and was like, and I literally, I think I stuck my tongue out at him and then continued to thrift. And I was like, I remember being so like embarrassed internally, but I was like, you cannot show any show no mercy here. And I'm honestly, I look back and I was like, I handled that pretty well for somebody that
literally nothing to be ashamed
there's nothing
about.
to be ashamed about. That same place is where I get all the drip, and I gatekeep that place. I'm sorry, you guys. One of these days I will air out all my favorite spots. But
I'm a gatekeeper too. I won't lie.
Girl boss gatekeep. It happens. It happens.
Gaslight.
Girl boss gatekeep. We cannot market ourselves as gaslighters. No. That's what I love that saying though. It's so relevant. Well, you guys, we're going to take a quick break right now, but here's a word from a creator on Galaxy. Stay tuned.
Hi guys, my name is Elena and my shop's name is Mighty Thrift. We're based in New York and my shop on Galaxy sells inclusive vintage fashion from a size extra extra small all the way to a 5XL. I started selling secondhand because while thrifting for myself, I would find things that weren't in my size, but that I knew people would really, really love if they could just see it in person. The very first thrift item I probably purchased had to have been denim, probably some kind of boyfriend jean, loose jean, or a pair of shoes. The craziest item I've ever found has to be a jacket from the Michael Jackson 1988 Bad Tour. It has a bunch of Pepsi logos on it. It's a really big jacket, a lot of hardware. It's really, really cool. I found it at a Goodwill maybe in 2016. I love being my own boss because I love being in control of the message that my brand represents, which is that all bodies are good bodies and deserving of feeling great. Selling secondhand makes me feel good because it's an easy way to help our environment.
Welcome back, everybody, to Finding Fashion, the season finale. Womp womp, but also woo woo because Allie xcx is in the house. And we're going to talk about confidence, if that's cool with you.
Very cool.
Are you down with it?
Very down.
Well, I got to say, you talk about this quite a bit on your YouTube channel, also on your social media platforms. And I'm really glad you do because I think seeing someone in the fashion space being honest about just also the relationship between fashion and confidence, is so important. What made you want to dive into that? Also confidence on social media. What made you interested in talking about that so much?
I think, first of all, just being on my own confidence journey, I've always just wanted to share that with people and kind of just show where I'm at to show people that they're not alone, you know?
I love that.
But the social media thing, it's just I've been, I guess I wouldn't call it in the industry, but I've been online for a while now.
I would say you've been in the industry. It's an industry.
So, I've been around. I've seen a lot of things and just trust me, everything you see on social media is fake and curated and people always forget that. And it's so easy to start comparing yourselves to every little thing that you see when it's people only show you what they want you to see. And it's so cliche because everybody says it all the time, but I feel coming from I'm just a regular influencer, I would say, but I've seen a lot of things. I've seen larger creators and it's just, it all seems like a big farce to me, So I just want to make people aware that you are the only person that will determine your worth. If you think you're worthy and valuable, you're going to be worthy and valuable. It doesn't matter what other people are doing online, but it is hard, especially nowadays, to not get caught up in all that.
100%. I think we're seeing such a shift in social media. I mean, you and I were interneting when Instagram started.
Before we should have been.
Let's start with that one. Where were our parents? Love our parents. But No, I think it's important to talk about. And I think also too, it's interesting to hear from someone that has a persona or like a curated image online. Like, how do you navigate that as somebody that is showing up on the internet and being seen, really?
Yeah.
When you're vetting your own content, like you say, like being authentic, or is there a process there? Is it you asking yourself questions, or like how do you really do it? Because like I catch myself all the time trying to make content that caters to an algorithm that doesn't have a lot to do with me, and then I struggle with identity online and like obviously sustainability, all these things we care about. Like, how do you really navigate that?
I'm not gonna lie, I hate the whole algorithm thing, and I just hate it. I definitely been in that position where I was very much in the influencer game, and when I'm posting a picture, it doesn't get as much likes as the last picture, and I'm like, oh my God, it flopped. And that, when I was in that phase, it just felt so bad. Like it was bad, and I didn't like that. I didn't like competing with myself to like just be somebody. Like it just felt weird to me, so I kind of had to take a step back from like all of that. I just feel like social media can be very like toxic sometimes, so I try 100%. To treat it in my life as least toxic as it'll be. If that means like sometimes I just don't post Instagram stories for a couple days because I'm just living my life.
Live your life, please.
Yeah, it's those things have become less important to me over time because I realize like clout is also a disease.
Clout is a disease.
People will
get well soon.
People do crazy things.
It's so true.
For a little bit of clout. If they think you have clout, they'll treat you differently. And it's just like, at the end of the day, everybody's a person, and clout means nothing in the real world. So
true. I meet some of the cloutiest people that are also some of the shadiest people too.
And they're just normal.
And they're normal, or they're not normal, and they have a big head, and it's like, all right, you're just an asshole now.
And it's just like you don't deserve to have. Yeah.
No, 100%.
It's wild.
You've also mentioned working in influencer marketing in the past. How has that affected your perspective on this stuff? Because I'm sure once you look into it from that lens, it's really hard to unsee.
For sure. So the first thing I have to say about working in influencer marketing is that it definitely showed me my worth as an influencer. And I'm just going to tell y'all, all of you right now, micro influencers are very valuable. Any sort of influencer content, if you're making for a brand, you should be getting paid.
Yes.
And I didn't know that before. Like I was the kind of person that's like, oh, I'm getting some exposure. Like I don't care. Like, whatever.
Like, but when you think about it, it's like exposed to who? People that are buying? No, but
they're just taking advantage of you.
That's what brands say. It's so freaking true. I'm glad that you said that.
So, but yeah, I mean, working behind the scenes is definitely different. It kind of made me realize like, I mean, especially nowadays with like TikTok being like such a big marketing platform, like everything is not scripted, but now I don't ever trust anybody on TikTok being like, oh my God, I love this, like blah, blah, blah.
You need this new shirt.
Yeah, because it could very well be a paid ad, you know? So it's like those things are kind of strange to me about the like influencer kind of industry, but it's also like, this is how influencers make money. And you know,
it's tricky.
If you're going to pay me, I'm going to do the same shit. So
no, that's where it's so tricky. It's like this fine line between authenticity and buying someone's opinion.
Well, that's another thing I was going to say is scratch the sentence I just said, because I don't do a lot of like brand deals and stuff because if it's not something that I don't actually like I don't care. I'm not going to pretend to like your company just for $200.
I don't feel like you post a lot of branded stuff.
I don't, because and people, you know, well, the girl I was working with for influencer marketing was like, you have all these followers, like, why don't you do more stuff and blah, blah, blah. And it was like really hard to explain to her that like, it's not authentic, you know, like just because there's money there doesn't mean that I want to do it, I want my audience to like associate that with me, you know?
I think that's so fair. I also am wondering like the fashion influencer space, is there anything there that you're not a big fan of right now? Because I can imagine you see a lot of that stuff and think, I don't believe you.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is, I don't know. I don't want to get like hate for like saying this. I kind of hate how TikTok makes everybody cycle through trends so fast.
You're not getting hate for this one. Micro trends. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's like it's a little too much for me. But I'm also the kind of person where it's like, I already know in my mind I'm gonna wear what I want to wear.
As
so
you
I'm not too swayed by trends and stuff, but it makes me sad when I see, I mean, also I could just mind my damn business, but you know, when I see somebody wearing like the cute, I don't even know what the trends are right now, like the freaking
shows good character. It's okay.
I don't know, but you know, if somebody's wearing one style and then 3 months later they're a completely different style, I mean, you know, but who am I to judge, because everybody's on their own style journey or whatever. But it's just like, it's interesting. I love seeing like, it's not that I'm that old, but I love the younger generation of like kids on TikTok. I feel like they're really cool. And when I was in high school, I felt like I was the only one who was like dressing crazy and experimenting with myself. I would die to go to a school where the kids were all wearing like cool outfits like I was. So I'm happy for them.
No,
you know?
it's cool.
Yeah,
I agree. And I think just this like idea that a lot, and you're like you were saying about the confidence journey, it's so interesting because I think a lot of people that buy into micro trends, it's a byproduct of their own confidence journey where they're trying to fit in and they want to feel accepted. And so if they buy into these certain ideas, then they will be. But I don't, it's like you said too, I don't really blame people because it's their own process and journey to it. And it's not to say people don't actually resonate with those styles, right? But it's to say that it's so easy to buy into something that's a corporate concept, or you know, it's easy to buy your way into confidence than it is to work your way into confidence. And that goes back to this idea of like people hiding behind money, hiding behind facades around how wealthy they are. Anna Delvey talking to you, queen, hey girl. But that was a subtweet, but I just say it to say like that's real. That's real. Like that's the culture we're in, and we're in this culture of new clothes, new outfits, new whatever. And I think it's really valuable you saying, I buy something, I wear it. If I'm over it, I flip it. And to pass it to the next person is the best thing you can do in that situation. So kudos, because that's great.
I gotta say this real quick because I just love, one of my favorite things about having like an online, you know, clothing store or whatever is when I have something that I don't necessarily, you know, either it doesn't fit me right or I'm not the biggest fan of it or whatever, and somebody buys it and they're like, I love this so much, and then they like tag you in the picture and you're like, holy shit, like they styled that better than I would. Like that's so crazy. So it's also how you were saying earlier about, you know, this is somebody else's stuff and whatever in the thrift. Like I like to think that clothes have like their own lives, you know, so they're like in their different eras when they're going to different people. It's nice to give clothes a new home.
It is.
Yeah,
it's so meaningful.
It feels good.
I love that. I have to ask how you personally navigate the internet. Are you a big unfollower? Are you a big consume it all and then take a step back, or do you like go into things like, all right, 2 minutes on Instagram and then we're out of here?
One thing about me, this is the first thing that comes to mind because I don't know if this is a problem or not, but I am so bad at answering messages because I just don't like to get too involved with online things. Like for example, like online dating, I'm not gonna online date. I want to meet you in person. I want to know how you are. I just feel like maybe I'm scarred from things that have happened to me.
It'd be like that.
But I'm just like, I'm so bad at responding to people and looking at DMs. And nowadays, I don't even like watch like Instagram stories that much anymore. Luckily, I have the following tab on my Instagram, so I can just look at the feed of everybody that I'm following. So that's like kind of what I do now. Cool. For social media, I definitely spend most of my time on Twitter. When I go on Instagram, it's just like to look at my friends or to post something or whatever. Like as for consuming content, Twitter is definitely my favorite, and I also been into TikTok a lot recently. So
it's such a diverse platform, and I think there's so much to be seen that we don't even know we're about to see, which is a blessing and a curse, right? Yeah. How would you, or what, I guess I should ask, what's your like advice for people out there that are young, trying to navigate the internet, trying to tackle confidence issues and dress for themselves? Like, how would you recommend people move through this crazy wild west of the web?
I would just say, and this is my logic for literally everything in the world, is question everything. Why is this the way it is? Like, what is this? Also, just remember that it's really sounds so cliche, but like everything on the internet is fake and curated. Like there's a reason that people post what they do. And it's just, it's so easy to get caught up with like trying to be something else, or like having this idea of what you're supposed to be, that you forget like what you truly want. And I feel like the most important thing is to just keep being yourself, wear what you want. The good thing about thrifting is that you can buy things cheap, experiment with styles.
Oh yeah.
And post what you want. Post things that actually matter to you. Post things that make you excited. How we were talking about the algorithm before on TikTok. I make so many, because I love making videos. You know, I'm like kind of a YouTuber. I love making videos, but sometimes people just don't want to see me drawing a GTA character, and that's okay. But I like it. I'm gonna still post it, you know? So that would be my advice, is just be yourself. Don't be swayed by things that are literally put out there to sway you.
Literally like industry plans.
Don't fall for the bait.
No.
I mean, it's hard. Shit happens, but just try and stay mindful.
Spark joy.
Yeah.
Spark your joy. Spark your joy.
Yeah.
I'm down for a GTA drawing tutorial. Listen, I got my colored pencils.
I was just drawing in the park. I was like, this is cute. I'm gonna make a TikTok.
That's
and I like
vibe.
it. Yeah.
That's a vibe. Well, I'm so excited because it's time to look at your fashion finds. You girls, you know it's my favorite segment. I can't believe the season's ending because this is like the drippiest segment of all time on any podcast, in my humble opinion. But I have to ask Allie, I would love to see some pieces that are from your closet, some of your faves, and things that answer a few questions that I had for you. So may we?
Of course.
Yay, let's do it. Awesome. Allie xcx, listen. I need to know, what is one piece you can't stop wearing?
So I bought this about a month ago when I was in Florida. I've been always wanting the perfect leather jacket. And as I mentioned earlier in this episode, I love like the grunge kind of style and vibe. So this one was like perfectly worn in.
Oh my God, this is giving Daytona.
Sorry, I just whacked the TV. Perfect. Oh my God, my pants are like struggling.
Oh no, you're doing your thing. This is a fit, honestly.
With the leather.
She popped out. You're dedicated with the leather jacket today because it is not cold outside.
I'm telling you, I'm on my rock star shit. This is very alley core because I love the grunge. I love leather. I love denim. I love the trashy Vegas like dice aesthetic.
Obsessed. I'm obsessed with it.
So the leather jacket is a fave. I got it. Like I said, I wanted a leather jacket, just a nice like sturdy one, you know. And I feel like there was pictures I saw of this girl, Lil D, who she actually passed away last year. So rest in peace, Lil D. But she was just so adorable, and she had this leather jacket, and I just wanted one like hers. I was like, she looks so cute. She was wearing it with like a skirt in this picture. So I finally found this jacket. It was $40 at the thrift store, which is
a steal for a leather jacket. Well, no, that's the thing. So let's talk about this. Things that are expensive in the thrift world that are insane when you compare it to what it would be retail. Like I'm sure a leather jacket like that, a Saint Laurent jacket like that.
Well, this
please $7,000.
I want to show you the tag, but I don't want to take it off. But it has this crazy tag that says hot leather with like flames on it too.
Shut up.
And so like I'm, you know, the flame thing, it's very alley. So I had to get it. And I just love it. It has amazing pockets everywhere. And I just feel like a rock star.
You're going to have that forever too.
Yes.
I'm obsessed.
So,
it was a good find.
Can't stop wearing this, even though it's hot as fuck outside.
I mean, listen, it's a moment. It's a style moment. You have to do it. Especially you. What an icon.
Literally.
All right. What's a piece that you have a story behind that we may not know?
So this one is actually really exciting. This is a newer piece in my closet. So you may look at this and be like, oh my God.
Oh, love.
Plain white tank top with the Harley, whatever. But this top I actually bought from Charlie XCX's Depop.
Wait, stop.
She did. So imagine my surprise. I'm at work. It's a normal day. I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling, and you know I love Charlie, so I follow the Charlie update account, and the Charlie update account says, Charlie's doing a collab with Depop. Excuse me? She copied me.
No
she literally copied me.
She came for your crown. I'm
so
so weak. I love that.
That's funny as hell. But I see it, and I'm like, holy shit, I need to get something. So it was like, I don't remember what the tweet said, if it was like in 2 weeks or something, but I just like started looking at the Depop and I just kept refreshing it, and then they started posting items. So I was like, holy shit. And I literally also had like no money in my account. So I was like going through Venmo and Cash App and like seeing if I had any money.
That's
but
a mood.
I ended up buying this. And unfortunately, I asked the update account, because I'm kind of friends with them. I asked if there was any pictures of Charlie wearing this top. There is not, but
it's such a vibe though. The thought that she got
first
it
of all, I
just
could
speaks
see
heaps.
I could see her wearing it.
Oh yeah.
And second of all, this is a little TMI, but when I put the shirt on, the boobs felt like they were already stretched.
So you knew somebody was wearing this shirt.
Yes, and I know Charlie she has similar boobs to me.
I'm so dead. You were like, all right, based off the boob imprint, she definitely wore this shirt.
I know she was in this shit.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, this is my new fave.
Sick though. I love the Harley vibes right now. Like the leather jacket, that's a moment in itself.
This is very also, my aesthetic.
Mini skirt, it's giving. I mean,
this
you
is the
mentioned
look.
Earlier.
This is the little D look.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna put this over.
Killing it. These are also like, I love that you're showing me things that feel like substantial staples, Yeah. Like everyone has a Harley Davidson tee that they can't live without.
It's true.
That's a wife beater one, which is even better because it's just like, wow, summer vibes. Classic. All right. Well, I have to say, last question. Oh, I'm so sad. I don't want this episode to end. My last question is a piece that stood the test of time.
Okay. So this is why I had to bring 2 jackets in today.
We love
sorry
outerwear. It
for
happens.
Being so annoying.
You see, this is a theme on Finding Fashion. People bring multiples of the same type of clothing, and I think
really?
Yeah, I think it has to do with the fact that you kind of fixate on one aspect of style that kind of like pulls an outfit together. So I'm sure this has to do with like execution.
Yeah. I do. I love outerwear. I love jackets and everything like that.
Love that.
I'm gonna take my leather jacket off so I can just show you this.
Yes, please.
Denim jacket. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So when I had started my thrifting journey, kind of thrifting the wardrobe I have now, it was in 2016.
Cool.
So I thrifted this jacket, I believe right before, I don't know. It was sometime in the beginning of 2017 before I graduated high school. So this jacket has been from Florida to New York. It's been from Florida to New York like 10 times.
Wow.
But it just looks like a regular denim jacket. But I'm going to put it on because...
We need to see this. Oops. She's putting on the denim, y'all.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I just feel like it fits me so good.
It's so good. This is such a good fit for you.
It's the perfect oversized fit denim jacket. And you can, on the inside somewhere... Hold on. There's still like... Oh, here we go. This is from when I was in high school, and I used to wear like lip liner all the time. Just lip liner. Like no lipstick, just...
Oh my God.
And I used to wipe it inside the jacket. So this jacket has been through a lot.
And it still has all the character moments
I love
that
the fact that it has inside pockets.
Oh, we love an inside pocket on a jacket.
And they're huge. They're
so
freaking
sick.
huge.
That's awesome. See, I love an oversized jacket too, like a denim jacket for the summer. This is a summer staple.
You can just wear like a dress with this and
be fine. You could wear a bikini under it and I'd be like, fashion.
Yeah.
Fashion. Well, one, thank you for being on Finding Fashion because you truly do reflect what the show is all about, which is having fun with clothes and inspiring other people to do the same. Mm-hmm. And I think the core of this show, and I hope people have seen this throughout the season, is that clothing can be confidence, but it also can reflect who you are regardless of where you are in your life. And I think you do a really great job of pivoting and doing all these things. Like, you've been an entrepreneur from the jump, period. Whether, no matter what Tumblr era, Twitter era, IG era, baddie era, Depop era you're in, you've always popped out. And I think that's so inspiring. And I kind of want to ask you 2 questions to leave. The first one being, where do you think the future of fashion is going as someone that's been in the space? Mm-hmm. And if you have any advice for resellers starting out, where would you say to go from here?
The future of fashion. This is another freaking loaded question.
You're getting all of it because it's the finale today.
To me, the future of fashion, and I see this especially with all of, the kids on TikTok, like having so much fun. Like, I feel like it's just going to get crazier. And I think people are just going to be more comfortable with experimenting with fashion, and it's going to be less of like a spectacle to go outside in like a crazy outfit or something, which I think is awesome. But as for trends, don't freaking ask me. I'm wearing my big pants and my leather jacket every day for the next like 3 months.
As you should.
That's all I know.
As you should. I mean, I don't think we need trends in the future. I think we need people just intuitively dressing for themselves, and you're inspiring them to do that. Yeah. Do you have any advice for resellers out there that want to follow suit and, at least make a slight impact the way you have?
I would say stay mindful. And it sounds so weird, but trust me, I've seen it. People who just want to make a shop for money, or some people just want to do YouTube for money. I'm like, how do you think that's going to work if you're not even passionate about what you're doing? Like, you're not going to see any sort of return on it. So, if you're a reseller, just make sure that your values are there. I guess I would say. Don't be taxing people. Do you really need the money that bad? Like, be fair with your prices. Donate your clothes back to the thrift, please.
Yes.
What else would I say? Good luck. Do something innovative. We need innovators.
Innovation.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching Finding Fashion. Allie, can you throw us your handles? Where can people find you? Where can they shop from you? What's your Galaxy situation?
Galaxy, I believe, is allie _xcx.
Great.
Instagram is allie _xcx. TikTok, allie _xcx. Or maybe it's allie.xcx. I don't know. Just look up allie xcx on anything. You'll find me. And YouTube, because vlog coming very soon.
Yay! Vlog is back.
Yes, I'm back. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Do a binge watch, because she has some crazy cool videos. A lot of inspo from last year too, I gotta say. I was in a deep hole. I was in an alley hole the other day.
Thank you, Pojo.
Of course. Well, you guys, you know who it is. It's your girl Pojo. Please make sure that you check out Galaxy. This has been such an amazing season, and we couldn't have done it without them. I'm so grateful. They've connected me with so many amazing creators like Allie. And
shout out to Galaxy for real.
Yeah, it's been such an amazing show. So make sure you check them out. You can follow them at Buy on Galaxy on Instagram for updates, or check out the live shows happening. You might catch Allie in the mix soon. Shopgalaxy.com. Subscribe to Finding Fashion as well. I haven't said this enough this season, but you guys, we're going to be back. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. We're going to take a brief break, and you might see us for a season 2. Who knows? I guess you're going to have to subscribe to find out. Give us a review, please. Tell us a favorite quote.
5 stars.
Favorite piece you've bought from Allie, if you will.
Yes.
And yeah, we're on YouTube with the show as well. We're on all streaming platforms. And it's your girl Pojo. You know where to find me. It's at Pojo on IG. If you want to get silly, it's at Pojo Jojo on TikTok. All right. And that's Finding Fashion Season 1, you guys. We did it. Woo! Yay! Have a good one. Go wear something amazing and fun. You deserve it. And we'll see you on the other side. Bye.